This is my baby. Actually, my baby is 14 now and she's helping me make this video, but I am going to talk about what I did when she was little and what I did for her sisters. And I remember it so well because I did it in my sleep in the middle of the night and several times when I was in my fuzzy mom brain state while everyone was just trying to sleep, and it really helped me. I did not know how to do this kind of swaddle that a baby cannot get out of with my first, so I never slept. But with my other two, I swaddled them this way, and I even laid them on their tummies, and they slept really well. They rarely got out of this kind of swaddle, so I will show you how to do that with this baby, which is kind of the size of maybe a 1 month old, but this swaddle does work up to at least 6 months, and it's pretty, like I'd say 90% of the time, baby proof. They can't wiggle their arms out. Now, first off, I want to say that a lot of parents don't swaddle because the baby fights it, so they think my baby doesn't like swaddling. And sometimes that works out fine because the baby learns to self-soothe and things are good. But sometimes it can be 6 months or a year of no sleep for mommy and daddy because they think my baby doesn't like swaddling, and when in fact, baby feels very secure when swaddled. So I'll show you what I remember. So I don't have the blankets that I used to have when I had babies. So I'll show you what I do have. For this first layer, you want to make sure, of course, that you have things laid out before you're ready, so you can do this while putting the baby down or holding it. I would get a Gerber or a Carter, what's called a receiving blanket. They're pretty inexpensive and they come in a pack. Some people don't even get them anymore, but I use them for this. So I would fold it quarter-wise so that it's long, and this is all for the arms. So baby is fussy. They start to flail. You put their arms down, so right where their little future biceps are, this is, and they turn like this, and they don't mind it. And we tuck right here. Oh, this baby even cries. I love it. Okay, so we wrap like this, and of course this blanket is thicker than a receiving blanket, and I give it a tuck. So here we're already really secure. And then I want to have something, this layer would be something stretchy and thin. And this would be your Swaddle Me, which has Velcro on it. That's what I always recommend. So again, make sure everything's tucked. If I had a real baby and the good stuff, it would be better. So we roll, and at this point, your baby's already calming down because they really like it. So, and then down here, you can do an extra tuck based on how small your baby is. That's pretty easy. Now, this would be a Swaddle Me, or if you don't have something that just has some stretch in it, this is all pretty basic at this point. And we're tucking, and if this had Velcro, this is when I would put it all together. And if baby's already calm as you're holding their head, this baby won't do this because it's not a real child, but it would turn, and then we lay on their tummy. Maybe do some motion, some patting, or something's vibrating, and walk away. This is not a real baby though, but I hope this helps you. About further concerns, you might say, but my baby will be too hot. I never worried about that. The baby was very warm inside of me. And sometimes a baby up to 3 months or 4 or 5 months still needs a mimicking of what it was like in the womb. You might have a noise machine or something that mimics the sound of mama's heartbeat and in motion. Well, another thing that you need to mimic to make it feel like the womb is that swaddling, that feeling of being held and being close, and warmth. So if you're not able to do that in their bed, they're going to need that from your body, and you will always be holding your baby. And sometimes people can do that, but sometimes mama needs sleep. Another thing that I will hear is a mama will say, oh, but that will break my child's spirit, or something along those lines, feeling bad, like you're restraining your child instead of giving them freedom. But as a parent who has gone from birth to teenager, I can tell you that they need your guidance and that closeness and direction from day one, and they will receive their freedom as they get older. But they need that. They need you to be telling them with this physical thing, hey, it is time to sleep. You are safe. You are close. You are loved. But this is what we're doing now. We're calming down and we're going to sleep. Now, every baby is different. So you'll learn some of the babies that have more chill personalities as they turn into children, they self-soothe younger than others. I have very strong personalities with my children, and sometimes they'll say strong personality, whatever that means, or someone who's a little more, they have a more fearful personality when they grow up. It's hard to say, it depends, but those children really need that. Where some kids that have, you'll see when they get older, you don't know now, but they might not need that as much. So it's a balancing where you're teaching them, you're mimicking the womb and transitioning to teach them to soothe themselves by putting them down when they're already a little sleepy, but they're not in the freak out mode, and they're also not totally sleepy at all. So you'll figure that middle out as you learn about your baby. Mama knows what the cries mean. You'll learn that. But those are my thoughts on the objections to swaddling, because I'm a pro swaddler. Objections to being on the tummy. This is very controversial. And so, of course, this is just another mom's opinion, and I am not a doctor. There are a lot of people out there that have concern of SIDS, and a lot of people have linked that to vaccinations and other medical interventions that young babies get. We can't know for sure. Some people do know for sure, and some people don't. So, again, this is not medical advice, and it's a very sensitive topic, especially for those who have experienced that kind of terrible loss. I can just say, I am one person who did put my babies on their tummies, and so they didn't get the flat head, which was nice. But another thing that mimics the womb is having some pressure on the tummy. It helps them with their digestive issues, and so during the day they will have less gas problems. So when I would put baby right on her tummy, toot, out came a little toot, and it just helped get that air out. So that would also decrease fussiness while sleeping. So sometimes if you're not like super comfortable with the tummy, for the younger babies, you can get a sleep positioner or take another one of those receiving blankets and roll it right up. And they're kind of on their side still, but they are having their tummies lean up against a rolled up blanket for babies who aren't moving around much yet. And well, they won't get out of that swaddle for a while. So that is a good alternative if you're still nervous about tummy sleeping. But if they start to roll over and get bigger, they're going to roll onto their tummies anyways. That's kind of where they're going to end up wanting to go. And I know that because my older babies would end up sleeping on their tummies a lot of the time. So I think it's good for their digestion. I think it's good for their sleep. I think it's good for all of that. And I don't think that we should be too concerned about it. But again, that's my experience. Other people have other experiences. But that's what I say about objections to being on the tummy. I think a swaddle works best that way, but you can still have a good swaddle and a good sleep on their back.